Hello and welcome to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. I'm your host, Liv, and I have to share a story that I have told my entire life. And I actually told this story to my parents this past weekend because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just making it up. Because whenever you're little, you know stories that you think are real. And then when you tell them in front of your parents, they act like you made it up. And you're like, what are you doing to me? I am in the middle of this story. So I wanted to make sure. So this is confirmed. Okay. I want everybody to understand. I've mentioned on the show before. And if you've been a listener of mine or I don't know, met me at the grocery store, you probably already know the story. And you know that I was born and raised in Louisiana. And so being from Louisiana, where I was in northern Louisiana, we didn't have an airport. We would have to drive all the way to Dallas to get onto airplanes. Okay. And what really, really was weird for me is when we moved to Houston, I was just as far from Dallas as I was when I lived in Louisiana. That was really confusing for a long time. But this one time we went to Dallas. I was 5 years old. My parents were taking me to New York City. So you see, my love affair with New York has been since I was little. And I was going to see Annie on Broadway. So yes, I'm that old, like as in the original Annie, when they made it, when they wrote it, the actual Annie on Broadway. I actually don't know who I saw. I didn't see Sarah Jessica Parker. I know that, but there were a lot of famous people that played Annie. All right, fine. So I'm super excited. I don't know what this is, but apparently it's a thing about a little girl and I'm going to go to New York and I'm 5. So we're at DFW and we're in the bathroom because, okay, you're going to get on a plane with the kid. You make sure the kid goes to the bathroom, right? So my mom and I go in and we used to fly Delta at that time. I don't know. Is that DFW now? Now, because I live in Houston, I'm a United gal. But anyway, so I remember my mom being like, Liv, I need you to hurry. We got to go to our plane, blah, blah, blah. And when you're 5, you're wearing like tights and all this stuff. And I do all the things and I go to the bathroom and doing all this stuff. And I walk out and there's this woman in the bathroom with a lot of people. And she looks down at me and she just starts talking to me. And she comes over and she pinches my cheeks. And she just says in the most twangy twang ever, well, aren't you just the cutest little thing I ever did see? You have got the best freckles. Your whole face is full of freckles. You are just such a doll. And just kept pinching my cheeks. And I then say the joke is all I could see were like boobs, because guess who the person was? It was none other than Dolly Parton. I'm not kidding. I actually met Dolly Parton in the bathroom at DFW when I was 5 years old, and she thought it was adorable. And I did have a face full of freckles. I actually still have a lot of freckles. And my mom was freaking out because she was like, that's Dolly Parton, and came out and told my dad. Well, this goes full circle. My friend Mamie Paris, who's a Broadway actress who sings actually my theme song. So if you've heard the It's Not That Late theme song, that's Mamie Paris, the Broadway star. And she was starring in 9 to 5, which is an old movie that I grew up watching that has Dolly Parton. And they made it into a Broadway musical. Well, Mamie was telling me, she was like, yeah, Dolly comes in all the time and she brings this homemade fudge and her fudge is amazing. And I was like, everything Dolly Parton does is amazing. The woman has a theme park. Okay. So what does Dolly not do? And she goes, yeah, well, I tell Mamie the whole story about how I met Dolly Parton when I was in the bathroom when I was 5 years old on my way to New York to watch my first Broadway show. And Mamie told Dolly the next time she saw her. Dolly comes in, she brings her homemade fudge for the whole cast and crew, and Mamie pulls her aside and says, I got to tell you about my girlfriend Liv and how she met you in the bathroom when she was little. And Dolly Parton said, wow, that is just the cutest story I ever did hear. You tell your friend I said hello. You guys, okay, Dolly Parton is basically my godmother, and she's going to be spending Thanksgiving with me. I just think it's kind of cool that it's a full circle moment from DFW bathroom to Broadway star who tells Dolly, who now sings my theme song. And it all has to do with New York as well. You guys, greatest story ever. I need you to come back because I'm going to be talking to my bestie, JW, and you don't want to miss this segment. It's the death segment. You are listening to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. Welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. And this is my favorite part of the show when I get to bother JW. I mean, discuss life with JW and see what's going on in his head. If you haven't been watching or listening, JW and I are different. We have different life experiences and we have different energy levels, and we get excited about different things. Like I get excited about all the things he doesn't. And then he's really fantastic at all the things I don't want to be. So it's a great matching. So I was talking to him earlier and letting him know I'm dressed 90s grunge today. For those of you that don't know, that's in right now. So everyone who kept your flannels, bring them out. It's now cool again to look like you're in a 1990s movie. Okay. You can do it again. Also, our guest later is a big music guy. So this is like how I would dress to a concert, right? Like in the 90s. JW wasn't born until 3 years ago. So he doesn't even know that the 90s happened. You were born in the 90s, weren't you?
No.
Really?
I was born in 89.
Oh, thank God. Samesies.
I'll just say that I grew up in the 90s. It was fun.
Oh, that's good.
I had my childhood in the 90s. It was a blast.
But you didn't wear grunge as a child. I mean, I was a teen in the 90s. So we like grunged it 90210 and like that's what we did.
Yeah, that was not my thing as a young child.
So the things that you heard me talk about earlier, I was talking about Dolly Parton. I don't even know if you know who
I know who Dolly Parton is.
You do?
Yeah. I might not be into the celebrity culture, but I at least know who some people are.
That's what I love, because I'm all into the celebrity culture and JW's like, that's adorable. I have better things to do, like climb mountains, Olivia. And I'm like, that sounds hard. So
it's just not like my thing to keep up with. Like they're people over there and they're doing their own thing. And I just really don't care about what they're doing.
But Dolly Parton's one of the good ones. She's a sweetheart. You know what I mean? And she has her own theme park. Okay. So JW, let's be honest. If I was a celebrity, we all know I would have my own theme park. And I love that she named it Dollywood, and mine would be called Liveland. And
yeah, I mean, that's a great dose of Christian humility. We're just going to make our own theme park and name it after ourselves.
She probably donates it to like children and like, you know,
maybe she does. That would be awesome.
She probably does. She does actually do a lot of work.
I don't really care enough to look into
we don't really care.
But you'll find out for us.
This is not about, exactly. And we're not here to talk about Dolly Parton. I want to know your run-in with fame, because I know it's not your thing, but I'm sure you've met a famous person at some point in your life of all 3 years that you've been alive.
Yeah. Well, I actually met a really pretty famous person. Like in May, I started working on this show called It's Not That Late.
That show is amazing. It's going to take off. I have a good feeling.
I think outside of that, I don't know that.
That's sad. If I was the most famous person you knew, which would be the only person in this garage, that would be amazing.
You're the most famous person I know here.
I might be the loudest person. There might be something I could win. But yeah. That's hilarious.
If there was a competition.
If there was a competition, loud, maybe.
I met one time. No one will know this. We talked about this off camera before. I met one time a guy named Bernie Little, who like was very cool to me at one point in time.
What?
He was the owner of a racing team, and they're hydroplane racing, which are like boats that they put aircraft engines on, and then they would race them around bays and lakes. And my dad liked them when I was a kid, so we went to something when they came through Virginia, and I met Bernie Little. It was awesome.
Okay, so it's like the NASCAR of, is it a similar crowd? To these racing events?
I mean, I could see, I see how you could think something like that, but I didn't get that impression when I was there.
Is this like the movie Hot Rod? Did you ever see that movie?
I did. I love Hot Rod. Yeah.
It's a great film.
Yeah. It was fun. I think that maybe it's similar. I mean, I feel like people who are into like racing and cars and gearheads, they kind of have similar mentalities. I don't know that I would group the like boat racing crowd that's the same as like your common NASCAR crowd, right? But to be fair, I've never been to a NASCAR race.
So do these things like float on the air? Like, is it like, I mean, are they just like so fast?
Yeah,
there's like
I don't even know if they race them anymore, but they would go blazing fast.
It's
like
illegal.
the whole front of their boats would just like be bouncing off top of the water, and they would flip over half the time.
Oh
there's too much air underneath it.
So like every little boy, this would be the coolest thing to see.
Super cool, yeah.
That'd be like phenomenal.
No,
and so what happened when you met him? Did you?
I sat on the boat. I got a picture.
You were on the boat?
I mean, yeah, on the like front little wing part of it, yeah.
But you didn't get to like go.
No, didn't get to go in.
You would have died.
No.
Flown off. You were a kid.
No, I just got to sit on it when it was on land before they put it in the water.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was cool. Yeah.
I mean, like I don't even know who this guy is, and I'm excited for you.
I think it was just more, yeah. I don't know. He's probably not that famous, but to me, it was kind of a cool thing as a kid.
It was a cool thing.
Yeah.
But I love that you're being so humble and you're not sharing how you actually could have been an Olympic champion, but you were so kind and selfless.
So false.
You didn't even let me try. You didn't even let me try to set it up. You were like, I can't let you just lie. Because you were a swimmer.
I did swim, yes.
In Baltimore, Virginia-ish areas. As we all know, I
grew up
am not a geography
I grew up in Southeast Virginia, and I swam growing up. And at one point in my high school swimming career, on accident, raced in a lane next to Michael Phelps and got utterly demolished.
And I hear that as, you said, Michael, I'll let you take this one.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. World Champion, Mr. World Record Holder. I'll hang back so you can take this race.
I'll let you shine.
Yeah.
We'll let this be your moment because we're not sure if you'll ever do this again, Michael. That's pretty much what you said.
It could have been his last race.
Right.
It turned out that he
went on to do bigger things.
Yeah, believe it or not.
People know who Michael Phelps is.
Even more world records than you already had. Yeah.
So in high school, how old, like, were you all the same age? Like, was he a senior?
I don't know. He's
younger?
a bit older. He's a bit older than me. I think I was a sophomore or junior. It was one of those 2 years.
Were you intimidated? Because you said he was already a world champion when he was racing in high school.
I knew that he was at this meet, right? I'd watched him swim at it, but I don't know that I realized that he was racing in the lane, or that their relay was happening in the lane, like right next to me at the time until like we were on the blocks and we were like the third leg of this relay. And I kind of looked over and I was like, well, this is over. So
by the time you got off the block, Michael Phelps had already won and was getting a gold medal.
I'll give you just like the slight play-by-play of this one race. That it was a medley relay. So backstroke goes first, and I was terrible, so I never swam that. And then breaststroke was afterward, and then third was butterfly, which was kind of one of my things. Yeah,
really.
And so he was racing that for his team, and up until that point, the two legs in front of us were like closer. They were slightly ahead of us, and so he got in the water slightly ahead of me, which turns out that he
he was
hydroplane Bernie Little's team, like all the way out in front of me. Yeah, no chance.
He wasn't even on the water. He was like
floating across.
He floated across.
Yeah.
It was a Peter Jesus moment. It was walking on water.
Right.
Right. Wow. But
it was cool.
I mean, that is cool. Was he nice, or he'd even like talk to you?
I didn't really talk to him.
Yeah. But I'm proud of you for having the confidence to still, like, you could have just walked up to the block and been like, that's cool. I'm done. I'm not even doing this. But no, you didn't.
Yeah, I think that, well, I think when you're athletes, I think at a certain point, even though if you know that whoever you're up against is like much better, everybody wants the chance just to do a race.
Well, now you have a great story
competition
for obviously the most famous show that's out there right now, you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you're listening and watching It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. Make sure to come back. Hello and welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison, and I am here with the uber famous, you can't believe I got this guest on my show, we don't even know how to handle it. I'm obviously talking about Justin Magaldi. Okay, he had to teach me how to say his name.
That was good delivery. Well done.
Was that nice?
Did you like it?
Nice.
Yes. If I was with you, I'd give you a high five right now, but I'm not. So
we would chest bump in a COVID style.
Yep, exactly.
And if you were here and this was a show not in a garage, there would be a roaring crowd. Like there would be, I'd have to be like, guys, settle down. We get it.
Yeah,
Justin's here. And they're like, JT. And I'm like, it's JM, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
You get mistaken for Justin Timberlake, I'm sure, all the time because you live in Nashville. So I'm pretty sure that's a problem you have on a daily basis.
It is, yeah. It's a cross I live with, but it's okay. I can handle it.
You're like, Jessica Biel, I've told you, I'm not your husband.
Yeah, leave me alone. I'm married, confused. Jessica. Okay.
He does live in Nashville, right? Am I wrong? I feel like JT lives in Nashville. I'm not sure.
Oop, I think he does. He lives in Leapers Fork, which is like a little area outside of this town called Franklin.
Yes.
I know of a guy that's drove past his house once, so I feel like him and I are cousins.
Come true.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
I just see you on a corner handing out like, maps of the stars. I feel like you guys in Nashville could do that because you have so many famous people, including your house, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Justin is on there. I mean,
of course. Yeah.
No, this is great. I mean, I heard of your name from a mutual friend. Mm-hmm. We both know you might not remember him. He was not a big deal to you in your life.
No.
we Kyle Hyman, it might ring a bell. I don't know. It
kind of does. I feel like he has a beard but that's kind of all I remember about him. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
That's all you need to remember about Kyle. There's really nothing else to remember.
He has a beard. He's like kind of funny sometimes, but other than that, I can't.
No talent.
I don't recall. No
talent. You don't need to.
He can't play a single instrument.
He can't. He's really worthless. Anyway, but enough about Kyle and his non-gifts. Let's get to you.
Yeah.
So my
Kyle, non-gifts.
And your vast, enormous gifts that make you Nashville famous. You were very kind and you put up with Kyle Hyman in a group called Spork. Am I right? Is that real? And we don't mean the utensil. We mean the very famous, internationally known. Like, I feel like this is a Will Ferrell movie. I feel like you guys wear unitards and you perform in Iceland. Make that true for me. Is that,
please.
Is that what Spork was?
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Instead of unitards, we just went thrift shopping and wore whatever we found that was colorful. And did that. And instead of Iceland, we went to Adam, Minnesota and North Dakota and places that you've never heard of. Yeah, exactly.
So what was Spork? Or is it still around? Like, is it still a thing?
It kind of, like, someone asked us to come in January and then Kyle reached back and they never reached back out. So Spork lives.
Because you weren't from Iceland. They were like, oh, never mind. This is it. Exactly. We want the other Spork. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Spork was whatever you want to say. It's kind of like a Catholic lonely island is how I kind of described it. Like Kyle and I were the Catholic version of Andy Samberg and his friends. And we would go to youth conferences and do entertainment, do like some music, DJing type stuff. It was just supposed to be like a fun thing for youth groups to have, and it was a lot of fun to do. But
it sounds fun. And for those people who don't know what Lonely Island is, that's a great. I always equate it with Saturday Night Live because they would air a lot of their stuff on Saturday Night Live because most of them were in Saturday Night Live, and they would just do silly, amazing. I mean, I'm not even going to get into it. Oh God, I love so much of what they do.
Yeah,
but I think the most famous, or what kind of put Lonely Island on, was when that movie came out. What was their really famous kind of put them on the map?
Hot Rod.
Oh yes.
There might have been another one. That was my favorite movie.
It was great. It's just great. So you guys did like sketch comedy and music, and it was silly, and it was Catholic youth groups.
Yep.
And you're Catholic, and it's like, look, you can have fun and do comedy and do musical things. And you were just kind to let Kyle Hyman ride your coattails. That was very thoughtful.
Yeah.
You're so selfless.
It was actually kind of the opposite. I rode his coattails for a while. We the whole story of it is I put on a youth conference when I was in college, and Kyle's also part of Popple, which is like silly folk music, and we brought them in, and then me, Kyle, and Dan all just kind of hit it off. And anytime they would come to, I'm originally from New York. Anytime they would come to New York, I'd hang out with Kyle, and they were like, we should do something fun.
And you did.
Yeah, we did. And it still exists. We made Spork, and we used to do like a podcast that lasted, I think, like 3 or 4 episodes. So that was fun.
This is great. So obviously you have a bus now with your face on it, and you are just, touring the country, doing these kind of Lazy Sunday. I was thinking of Lazy Sunday.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking of from whatever. I don't even know why I'm talking about Saturday Night Live, but
I have a really quick Lonely Island story, if I could share.
Tell me.
I was coming back from somewhere in the Nashville airport, and
this is great.
Me and my friend Gabe saw the Lonely Island in the airport, and he was like, I don't know if we should say anything. I was like, of course we have to say something. So we went up, and I was like, hey, we're big fans. Like, is it all right if we grab a picture? And they were like, yeah, of course. And the guy, I forget who, but he pulled me in closer, and we take like a selfie, the 5 of us, and we used my friend Gabe's phone, and I got perfectly cropped out.
You're not in the photo at all?
Not at all. And I was the one who initiated it.
So are we still friends with Gabe is what I need to know.
Yeah. No, we're not on speaking terms with Gabe
is now dead to us.
He's dead to me. I wrote him out of my life.
Gabe has a GoFundMe. He lives.
Yeah. What Gabe needs is an iPhone. He uses an Android. No offense to any Android users, but...
Oh, I can't with the Androids.
Yeah.
I'm a total iPhone person.
That's why I don't text
Well,
Gabe
I believe
either.
that you meant Lonely Island, even though you don't have the proof.
Yeah, thank you.
But more than Spork, the real reason, let's just get to it. I mean, I heard that you know a guy named Toby Mac.
I do.
You have kind of met him a little bit, a few times.
A couple times.
This joke is getting old with pretending that you don't know people. It's like you're his tour manager. So obviously he would know your first name if you walked up to him, and you probably do have a picture, but without Gabe, but you and Toby Mac.
Funny enough, Gabe also works with me and Toby, so I have plenty of pictures with me, him, and Gabe.
How convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
This Gabe guy sounds shady. I'm just kidding. We love you, Gabe.
Yes,
come be on the show.
Yeah. We really do. Yeah.
So you do your tour manager for Toby Mac, but I don't really care about that. I think a lot of people are probably really impressed with that, and that might seem super cool, but that is not what, when Kyle Hyman shared with me that you are the air guitar champion in my view of the universe, which you can correct me if that's wrong. Cause like we have pageants and we have Miss Universe. So I'm declaring you air guitar champion of the universe. And I think you should take it. And, I
don't think the air
tell
guitar
me how
community,
much of that is true.
I was the 2020 United States air guitar champion.
I don't even know how to, like, this is like Olympics, you guys. Like, you're basically like Nadia Comaneci. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah.
You're a national treasure.
Yeah, thank you. I agree. I ask people how, like, if anyone makes fun of air guitar, I would say, who's someone that you know that's really good at something? And then I'll be like, oh, my cousin plays college baseball. I'm like, yeah, but they're not the best baseball player in the country. I'm the best air guitarist in the country. So,
in the country.
That's
a big deal.
I've since lost my title, but I plan on getting it back next year.
We love a comeback story.
Yeah.
Like this is, I mean, are you watching Rocky and listening to Eye of the Tiger all the time?
Yeah. Yeah. I wake up, look in the mirror, and I brush my teeth.
Do you have
and
a
then
robe
I do that?
that says champion? Like, I just need to know. This has got to be serious. Toby Mac, we don't have time right now. I'm in training.
Yep, exactly. So
tell me, how did you get into air guitar? Because I got to say, it sounds a little unique, Justin. I mean, there's a million Toby Macs. There's one national air guitarist champion.
Exactly.
So I want to hear it. How'd you do it?
I stumbled upon air guitar on YouTube. It's a website that has videos on it. If you haven't heard of it,
Oh, YouTube. I was like,
Yeah.
wait. Oh, yes. Yes, I have.
YouTube. So anyway, I somehow came across this video of a guy named Nordic Thunder, who was at the time the champion of the United States, a guy from Chicago. And I was like, that seems really fun. So I looked it up, and I used to live in New York, and they were doing competitions, like this really cool music venue. I'm like, let me just see if I'll bring some friends and see what happens. And I did not do good my first competition, but like me and my friends had so much fun at the event itself. I was like, all right, I got to come back and do it next year. So a couple of years went by and I started getting a little better. And I think by like the third or fourth year, I won like a regional competition. And then I went to the national championships. And then me and my brother, my mom, and my friend Tom and myself all went to Kansas City for the National Air Guitar Championships. And it was so much fun. I was like, I have to do this every year. So I've been doing it every year since. So this coming year will be my 10th year doing it. So 2022 will be my 10th year doing air guitar.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible. And we're talking New York as in Manhattan, New York, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That part.
I lived.
As if there's another part in New York.
Yeah. No, that's everything north is Canada. So I'm in
exactly.
New York. Yeah.
Is there any other place in the world? Yeah. So New York's like my favorite place in the world. And this
that's
show
awesome.
actually is broadcast on the radio on Long Island. So you can say hi to all of the people there.
Well, that's where I lived. That's where I lived in Long Island.
Well, listen to that. We got a Long Island kid here. Like, were you born and raised in Long Island?
Born in Queens and then lived in Long Island for 22 years or whatever it was.
That counts. Yeah. We'll take it.
Born and
Perfect.
raised.
Well, this is broadcasting on Veritas Catholic Network, which airs on 1350 AM and on Long Island and parts of Connecticut. So
that's awesome.
This is great. You're a hometown, but this is the internet, so we're multimedia, and we're going to put it on the YouTube thing now that you told us about it. I'm just kidding.
It's always been on really YouTube. Look it out. Yeah,
we'll look into that.
Yeah, please.
On podcast, but that's great. Okay, so 10 years. So this isn't something silly. This is legit. And here's what's really important: how do you choose what song you're going to air guitar? Like, I mean, or is it like they randomly put up stuff and you just have to go? Or do you come prepared? Like, is it like for real? I'm really asking, do you have a coach? Do you practice? Like, is this a real, how serious is this?
It's silly, but serious. Like you want to go, I kind of look at it as like a performance. So you don't want to go to a performance unprepared. So it kind of the whole process of it is it's 2 rounds. Normally it's like 25 regional competitions that go to like 4 semifinals that go to 1 national, and then the national winner goes to Oulu, Finland for the world championships.
It is Will Ferrell. This is happening.
It's 100% that movie.
It totally is. You've seen that movie, whatever that movie is that I'm trying
whatever it is, I've seen
reference. I don't know. Okay. So did you go to Finland, or do you get to go?
No. Well, I should, but because of COVID and everything, it's not coming back until next year. So the plan is to win. I think you should get grandfathered in. I think you get to go to Finland. I think we take Gabe's GoFundMe and we give it to you. Exactly. I think so. I think it's a good plan. I'll send it to the commission.
Tell Toby I said it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He'll start a GoFundMe for me, maybe.
Perfect. Oh, that's amazing. So about how many people are competing in the nation? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so you're at the top of the nation. Is that because 10 people competed, or like 2,800 competed? You know what I mean? What are we talking about?
I would say if there's 25 competitions, an average of 15 people per competition. So whatever that math is.
We don't do math on this show. It's about
that. No, yeah.
We don't do geography and we don't do math. So
good. Okay.
And apparently I can't think of any movie names right now. So that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. But it's also because I dressed today. I told you earlier before we started the interview, I was like, I dressed in 90s grunge, which is in right now. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, yeah.
But I just wanted to impress you. Like, I feel like this is what you would wear to an air guitar like competition.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm ready. I can like make a big head of your head, and I'm a really great like hype girl. So
That's
if you
awesome.
need somebody in the crowd, I can do it. I will go to Finland.
Yeah, the biggest thing that I would need is someone to catch me when I stage dive. So
Done.
that's
Done.
it.
This is, and I'll even call that weird guy Kyle Hyman. I'll see if he's he's busy.
Yeah, there was a lot of air guitar and spork bits. A lot.
You were prepared.
Yes.
You didn't know that you were getting asked to do something bigger. So I love it, Justin. This is so cool. I want to go into a little game with you while I've got you on here.
Yeah.
Because you are in the entertainment industry and a national champion. As far as I'm concerned, you are still the reigning champion. You will always be a winner on this show.
Thank you. I agree. Thank you.
So you'll forever be the reigning champion of air guitar for the United States of America.
I hope in the history of your show, you don't have another air guitarist. So I could say
it's not going to happen. We are loyal to you. We are sponsoring you. We'll buy your windsuit sponsored by It's Not That Late.
Perfect. That's great.
For the opening ceremonies. Okay. So with all this, I wanted to play a game with you called Best Of. And here's the thing. You've had a lot of experiences and it's kind of fun to just off the top of your head. This isn't your Harvard like entrance exam. So you don't need to, and no one knows if you're lying to us. Like you can just say anything. Yeah. And we'll be like, he works for Toby Mac. He can't lie. And he sometimes plays JT in Nashville. So these are all true statements coming from Justin. So I'm just going to go down and say a list and you just say the first thing that comes to your head. And we're just going to rapid fire it. Okay. So ready?
Cool. Yeah.
Best school lunch food.
Lunchables.
Oh, like okay. You weren't like a hot lunch kid. You brought your lunch.
I brought my lunch. Like the little pepperoni, cheese, and cracker. Like a little mini pizza. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Okay, best summer. Like the year.
Summer of 2000. It was about 7 or 8 years ago. So whatever. Summer
of 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, summer of 2014.
I love that.
Summer of 2014. Yeah.
2014. Best t-shirt. That like you own, that like you wear, that you love.
Yeah. I'm a big Mets fan and I have like an old school Mike Piazza t-shirt. So Mike Piazza.
And that's like the classic. Does your wife allow you to wear it or is it all holy and like dingy and she's like, you can't wear that in public?
I could wear it at certain events. I don't wear it in mass, but I could wear it if we're like hanging out. And Mike Piazza's Catholic, so that's just a fun fact.
Great. So you could, I love it. So youth event, you could wear that. Best drink, adult drink. What's the best?
The best adult drink. Ooh, yeah. I kind of like. I've become a fan of Trader Joe's. Has like these hard seltzers.
Yeah.
The Shell House, like for the summer, Shell House seltzers.
That did it for you for 2021.
Yep,
I like it.
That was it. That was the winner.
Best night out.
Dinner and a movie.
Really? I'm guessing with your wife or with Toby Mac?
With me, Toby, and Gabe.
Obviously.
Like, do you mean best night out ever? Like, what's an ideal
best night out ever?
Oh,
best night out ever.
Ever. Oh,
ever.
Well, we kind of were talking about it recently. I think that Pitbull concert I went to.
So you just went and saw Pitbull in concert.
I just saw Pitbull
like last week.
Yeah, for my 30th birthday, and it might be the best night I've ever had.
Was he amazing on stage? Was Pitbull like?
He's amazing.
Crushed it.
He crushed it.
Yeah, good.
It was awesome.
Well, happy 30th.
That's
like the way to do it. If you're not having your birthday with Pitbull, I don't know what you're doing.
Exactly. So after
I
hope
half the people listening are like, "What's a Pitbull?" Like, I hope they don't even know who that is.
Which is funny because I don't know if you can, but I hear my dog barking, so I'm like, I wonder. That's Pitbull right there.
People are like, "Oh, that's cute. He went and donated his time to Pitbulls."
Yeah.
Okay. So, best audience you've ever had?
Ooh.
Like crowd.
Yeah. There was an LA Forum when Toby did a show. That was really cool. It was
great.
Big audience and just
good
a cool
energy.
venue. So really good energy. I'd say LA Forum. Yeah.
I love it. Best vacay.
Went to Hawaii.
Which part?
Maui.
Ooh.
Which was awesome.
Yeah, that's hard not to love. That's
definitely.
It's like God was like, it's like perfect.
It's all, I turned 30. It's all downhill from here. It's why even go on vacation anymore? In life. Yeah.
All right. Best moment in church.
Ooh. My brother is a priest.
Nice.
So his first mass was definitely the best moment.
Was incredible.
It was
so
awesome.
let me ask you this. A big thing on my show is I'm really trying to encourage people to be extraordinary, not just subtle, like not just whatevs, be basic. So how do you give yourself permission to be extraordinary, Justin? Like going out and doing the air guitar. What do you do? What gives yourself permission to be extraordinary?
That's a really good question. I would say, wow, that's tough. I like that. Definitely my relationship with my wife. She allows me to kind of be silly in myself, and our relationship with the church. And we've had really good community here in Nashville within the church, like a good young adult group and good priests. And so kind of that connection to our parish plus my relationships and friends, I think allow me to kind of be my silly self, I guess. Does that answer the question?
I think that's fantastic. It's your answer. I think it's great.
Okay. I didn't know if that was the right.
Awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
No, I think that's great because it's other people around you that you've surrounded yourself with. You've intentionally put yourself around really great people. Yeah. And then therefore you have the confidence to go out and be extraordinary.
Yeah. No, that you said it better than I did, but that's exactly what I was trying to say.
I can also work for you, Toby Mac. I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So Justin, can people follow you? Where can they watch you do what it is that you do? How can they keep up with you? What's the best way for the interwebs to forget Kyle Hyman and Gabe and Toby Mac and JT and only focus on you?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't post too much on social media but really only about when air guitar competitions happen. So you probably won't hear from me until like next summer. But until then, you could on Instagram or Facebook, just my name, Justin Magaldi. So
Justin Magaldi. I love it.
Come April when air guitar starts coming back, then you'll see me posting more. But until then, I might be low key. We'll see. Yeah. Or if you follow Toby Mac, sometimes I get tagged in a picture here or there. So that's probably the best bet.
So we'll look on Toby Mac. We'll just all stare at him and then wait for air guitar season, which starts in April. Now everybody has something to look forward to. You saved us in the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, Justin, this has been a blast. If you're ever in Houston, you got to come in studio and we got an air guitar. Yes, so, you'll have to teach us or whatever. But thank you so much. This has been fantastic. You guys, you are tuned into It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to do it. The news. Okay.
Okay.
Look. So we're the news right now. I know that we were clubbing all night, but listen, you have to be so serious right now.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, so I have this really official thing right here. It makes me so newscasty.
Do I have one?
No,
Where's
you don't
mine?
need. Listen,
is it tucked in here?
It's way too late. Do you have a name?
You don't know my name? I thought we had something together.
With Billy Bob and.
What's up, ladies? Recently single.
Yeah, we're no longer a couple. And my name is Chanel. So the news that we want to report is tonight on It's Way Too Late, which we're really we're doing good. I mean, my makeup looks a little whatever, but we can still jam.
So I need to tell you a couple of things that have happened, and we're letting the people know on It's Way Too Late with Billy Bob and Chanel.
What's up?
Number one, we have a new president.
Of what?
Of the states.
Wait, the states have presidents?
Every state has yes, there's it's like when you ran for your class president.
I ran from my class.
Oh, okay. So
in
at my
sixth grade, I dropped out, just ran away from class and never came back.
Listen, yes. All the states.
There's new president.
Yes.
Here we get a new one every 7 years.
Yes. Yes. That is true. I don't know how often we get state ones, but we get the overall one every 7 years. It's written in the contract of the United States of America.
That it's written in there that it has to be a white man, correct?
Yes. It's in under glass. When you go to the place where all those people live that make all the decisions for our country, it's the contract of the United States is under glass, and it says every 7 years we get a new president. We have
glass is so easy to break.
We have a new one.
Oh, okay.
Let's move on to the next piece of news. This is how important this show is. It's way too late. Kim and Kanye are a couple. Oh, sorry. So Kim and Kanye are a couple.
I tell you what, I don't know much about them pop culturists, but them twos, they seem just perfect for each other. All these Hollywood people, they get divorced after 1 year. They're staying forever.
Not this one. This is so real and true. Not like us. Like Billy Bob and Chanel. This wasn't gonna.
Now you know my name. I changed the channel on this
one. This wasn't gonna work. Kim and Kanye is forever. That is forever. And it's new news. This is new news. This is breaking news.
They have the same amount of brain cells.
Both their names start with K.
It's perfect.
It's going to happen. Also, Kanye has I'm getting this Justin. Look at my earpiece.
Who's Justin?
Oh, I kind of want you back now. That was funny.
Too bad. I've moved on.
So Kanye has a new album, and it's all about Jesus. It is a big deal because Kanye is so famous, but he did an entire album on Jesus and it just dropped. This is new news.
I'm not a big fan of that rap music, that hippity hop, but I know he did that song a couple days ago about that Jesus walking. He just said that Jesus walked over and over and over again. And I love the Jesus, but I didn't think that was the most important thing he did.
I don't know a lot about what you just said. What I do know is that there's a song on this album about Chick-fil-A. And
Jesus chicken. I love that Jesus chicken.
Oh, this is what I'm saying. Like even people that don't
your hair's falling off.
I can't. It was a long night. Okay. It's way too late. We have been clubbing all night. Okay, let's just move on. That's a lot about Kanye. Okay. But speaking of Chick-fil-A. Okay.
I love when a sentence starts like that.
Don't we all? There is a chicken sandwich war that just started. And it really seems to be between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. But I feel like other people are going to get involved. I have a psychic ability, and I think that's true. Also, I think Chick-fil-A is going to win because of Kanye. Do you have any thoughts?
They don't need Kanye. They got Jesus. I mean, Jesus did more than walk. He made chicken and delivered it just to our Chick-fil-A's. And if you eat chicken from anywhere else, you're going straight to hell.
That's true. That is also in the contract of the United States of America. That's under glass.
We should really keep that safe somewhere.
It probably is.
I feel like
I don't know where
white
that
actor's going to steal it at some point.
That they should make a movie about that. That would be amazing. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is such a big deal. I also just heard this through my earpiece because we are so legit. We're so legit. Darth Vader. Oh, okay. Do you know Star Wars? I don't know if you watch it.
I know Civil Wars. All my family fought in that one.
Listen, there's this thing called Star Wars, and it's super old. Like people born in the 70s old. And it's so old. And so, but they're going to make new Star Wars movies where the head guy of Star Wars, his name is Darth Vader. Are you with me? The new movies are going to be about when he was a little kid. You guys, it's going to be amazing for that franchise.
He's the good guy or the bad guy?
I don't know. I wasn't born in the 70s. I don't know. But I just know that this is going to be a big deal. Again, I have the psychic. I can't explain it, especially late at night when it's way too late. I know so many things.
I don't know much about that movie, but I think if you name your baby something like Darth or Chanel, they're just going to turn out terrible.
I'm amazing. My name's Chanel.
Oh, crap.
Our last piece of news, because it's way too late and we need to go get sleep, obviously, because, oh my gosh, I look wretched.
Your hair's still falling off.
It's fine. Everyone loves my hair.
I wouldn't know anything about hair falling off.
It doesn't matter. Is that there is a game, like apparently people like to play games alone, which that's sad. Like if you're playing a game, you should have friends. Like that's why we have
I play
recess.
games because I didn't have friends.
Okay, well, we have recess at school so that you can have friends to play games with. But apparently you can play on systems at your house. And there's a new one called Fortnite.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it?
I heard about that. You take a fork, you take a knife, and you start throwing it at your sister.
Fork knife.
And whoever still is living is the winner.
Oh, I thought it was Fortnite. I got it wrong.
What did I say?
I don't know, but yours is you. You are so smart.
You take the forks and the knives, and I know
It's
there's
gonna
something
be a
about
hit.
being a ninja. If you're a ninja, you're real
Now
good.
you can play by yourself alone, and that's fine. That's all that's coming through my earpiece. I'm bored of this. This is boring to me. It's way too late. Can you bring us out with our music? I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Welcome back to It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison, and I am Liv. You guys, you are either listening on Veritas Catholic Network, 1350 AM in the Long Island, Connecticut area, or on their app, or perhaps you are listening on a podcast, or maybe you're watching on YouTube, which, hello, or on Facebook. And here's the thing. I really appreciate all the support that you are giving as a listener, as a subscriber, as someone who's sharing. There's been a lot going on since 2020. We've talked a little bit about it, and this is not hard-hitting journalism, this show, but let's take a moment to talk about something a little difficult. It has been difficult with the pandemic. Let's just say it. Anybody who's in the entertainment industry. Today's show was all about music and entertainment and famous and all this kind of stuff. But to be really real, there's a lot of people who make their living by performing, right? And the pandemic was really hard and continues to be really difficult for people who continue to do that for a living. So during the pandemic, one of the things that was really positive for me was I got a studio built and I started this new show, which is great and easy and fantastic. And I have a really supportive husband and an incredible team that I could not do this without any of them. But let's be real for a second. I can't continue to do this without you. I've got to have your help. And that means, as annoying as this is to ask, if you could subscribe, even if you don't watch it on YouTube, if you could go to the YouTube channel and subscribe, if you could download the Veritas app, if you could make sure that you listen on podcasts, if you could go into Apple and send a review and like it and let your friends know about this show, that helps me out as a creator, as someone who's trying to do this. The other thing I want to talk about is the world is starting to open up again. And probably by the time that this airs, and is broadcast, things are opening up all the time. And this period of time that we have had has continued to change and evolve over the last 18 months, right? And it's going to continue to change and evolve in the next 18 months and hopefully just gets better and opens up more and things get more settled. With that, I want to encourage you to support the arts when the world does come back. Go back to concerts, go back to plays and theater and boat racing, whatever else. Go support, the athletic teams that are out there and people who perform for a living and who are doing these things. Bring in speakers, your favorite Catholic ones, or go see a lecture series.
Get in the seats. Make sure you're healthy and taking care of yourself. And that's all I'm going to say on that piece of it. But make sure you're making good choices, but then go and support the arts. A lot of people have been waiting to get back on stage. They've been waiting to promote their books. They've been waiting to get back out there and play baseball, whatever it is. And they need you. And they miss the energy you heard in the interview today with Justin. There is something about an energy and with being with people. And we've all had to be shut down for a long time, and that's okay. A lot of the show is about entertainment, comedy, joy. We're showing that you can laugh and have a great time and still love Jesus. You know, you could be a part of this world without being of the world. And that's the whole gig of It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison. I want this show to be a place that you can't wait to listen or watch every single week. You come and you're like, this is getting me to my Friday. I'm going to listen over the weekend. I put it in my ears. I watch with my husband, whatever it is. I want this to be a place of happiness and comedy, and that you just feel good. And you know that it's going to be a quality show. With that, I also would love for you to go onto my website, thelivharrison.com. We have a couple of forms to fill out. We also want your submissions. I want to see your videos. I want you to be a part of this show. If you're in the Houston area, I want you in my audience. We're doing something that nobody else is doing. We're doing a live show with studio audience. It's not airing live, but we are filming. We're pre-recording, but we've got actual people in the studio, or we're doing virtually. And I want you a part of it. This is ours. And who should be on the show? I've got a form for that. If you've got a guest that you're dying to see, or if you are so amazing that, we would, of course you could come be on the show. JW will allow it. We don't have a very big vetting system. So the thing is that this is the time to go back to the arts. We are so close to that. But remember those of us who are creators, who have tried to continue to stay relevant, who've tried to continue to put out amazing content and great stories and film and music and whatever it is that you're into. People have continued to try to make the arts be a part, especially of this time when the world paused. So go back to the people that you were watching, listening, and following before, and then open up your life to people that maybe you weren't watching and didn't know. And I hope that that's what this show is doing, that I'm exposing you to maybe some people that you haven't heard of, and that you want to get to know, and that you start learning and broadening your horizons. We've got to unify again as a country. We all just went through the 20th anniversary of 9/11 not that long ago. And I think anybody would sit here and say it was amazing on 9/12 of 2001. That day, I think everyone was so proud to be an American, and everyone was so unified. As a Catholic, we all came together, and now we need to do that again. And a lot of what happened of how we came back together was in the arts. You saw things happening in sports. You saw things happening on Saturday Night Live. You saw, I remember the Friends episode that came after. Like, we watched the people in entertainment and in the industry of, again, not that sports is entertainment, that's athleticism. I don't know, because I'm not athletic, but they bring us a joy, and they take us, they add a richness to our life. They add something to our everyday. And in these really hard times, we need to support them because they're still trying to support us. So I'm coming to you as a creator, asking, please help support me in what I'm doing in my endeavor. As you can see, look at this amazing, this head thing that I'm doing. Anyone who's watching on YouTube, you're watching my earpiece fall out. If you're not, you guys, this is what real radio is. This is what happens. This is being a human. I'm asking you to support me, and I'm asking you to support the arts and everyone who's in athletic events. Go get what you need to do to be safe, to be healthy, but get back out there and go and support and do those things. I want to just take this moment to really say thank you. I am having an absolute blast, producing the show, putting on the show, learning about you and getting to know you. Come be a part of it. I want to know you. This is your late night show. This is your variety show. And I want you to feel that way. I want you to feel like you're sitting next to me on this couch. So Thank you so much for your time, for tuning in, for sharing. And I can't wait until we are back together again next week. You guys, you are listening and watching and tuned into It's Not That Late with Liv Harrison.